Today we're going to have a quick look, a first look at Luminar AI Beta. So before we begin, I must say that this is not the final user interface, and I'm going to say this periodically with everything, but basically nothing is finalized and is subject to change. So this is a beta version, so nothing is final, and that includes the templates that we're going to have a look at. So I've already loaded everything into the catalog, a whole bunch of photos, but what I'm thinking is that we'll take a very ordinary iPhone 6 photo of me having a delicious lunch in Monterey. That's clam chowder, as you might guess. And we're going to mess around with it instead of messing around with a finished photo like some of the other ones. So I've clicked on templates, and we're going to have a look at some of the various templates, starting with this one in the Essentials pack. So the first one is Focus, and we'll have a look and see what it does. I have the toggle down, so we're going to bring it up slowly and see what happens. And of course, yes, everything is in focus. And normally I don't think most people would focus this much, so probably if we were trying to create something cool looking, it might be parked somewhere around here. So I don't want to show you just the extremes. And midday is another one that well, does just what the name suggests. And even at its most extreme, that looks quite good. This is the original again, the original iPhone 6 photo, and then bringing it up again. That's a nice look even when it's at its fullest extreme. So let's try featured face, which does exactly that. It looks like there's a specific spotlight, so the AI is able to pick out my face quite easily. Brush up. I have a feeling I know what this is going to be, and yes, my skin is smoother. And even the extreme version is, I mean, I wouldn't have it this extreme, but it's really pretty good. And considering that this is not finalized yet, that's not bad. So yeah, it seems to look pretty good around here. All right, Iconic is next. And we won't go through all of these, I don't think, but we'll go through some of the templates and see what you think. So that was Essentials People right here. And so, I wonder how many times I'm going to do that. Let's go down here to Portrait. And there's some things here in Experimental that we could have a look at. And these are unique portraits with texture overlays that emulate flare, glare, dirty sensors, burned film, or scrunched paper. So we'll have a look at some of them. Celebrate. All right. Looks like various light leaks and things like that, and cold frame. These I'm not going to toggle back and forth. I'm trying to go through these fairly quickly. Just to give you an idea, but remember that you can toggle back and forth between all of them. This one is going to be glow, and this one is feather light. So just a quick look at some of the looks. And again, you know, a lot of these would look pretty good in moderation, perhaps. So, excuse me. Easy portraits. Let's go with high key first, and we'll just have a look at all of these as we go through it. Now, I love high key. I don't do portraits typically, or I've almost never done portraits, but I do love high key. And high key doesn't necessarily need to be for portraits. It can be applied to all sorts of things, but it is very common with portraits. So of course they have it here. And even the high key on its extreme looks quite good. Yeah. Tack sharp. That's probably going to look like the other sharpen. Let's find out. Yeah, it looks relatively similar. So again, you'd probably park it right here for just a little bit of the effect, not the extreme. Let's see what fade is about. Aha, yes. Sort of a lowering the contrast, among other things. All right. Vignette. It's a pretty good looking vignette, I think, even at its most extreme, replacing the emphasis on the subject. Low key. Let's compare it to the original. And it is that, but it's still placing the light right on the face, which is nice. So, and that's usually desirable for portraits. All right, so that's some of the portraits. Well, all right, we'll have a look at one more. Yeah, I was only going to do 2 or 3 because I'm getting carried away with these, but let's have a look at one more. So this is Flawless, and it looks like it's addressing the skin again. And if you can make someone sitting in a restaurant with a t-shirt look elegant, you've probably done a fine job. Flawless. Rembrandt, and this, if it's going to follow the icon, will be, yes, sort of a somewhat high-key-ish kind of look as well. Fashionista. I don't think it's, there we go. Fashionista. Marquee. All right. And finally, still frame. And I'll toggle back and forth between this and see what it looks like. So this is our first look at Luminar AI Beta.